Hey Alex, this is primarily to you since you're the other person who actually likes to play with the Bastone. Uh, and, but this is to anyone. I might tag you, Josh, as well, just because this is me tying Cerri and Paige together a little bit and finding something interesting. Just thinking about Paige's definition of equilibrio, how it's, keeping your center of gravity over your center of magnitude. And Cerri goes out of his way in his corollaries to emphasize the sidedness of the Bastone as opposed to the saber, because his saber and Bastone corollary are the exact same 23, and then he adds 3 more to the Bastone, and those 3 all basically deal with the fact that you're either inside or outside, or on one side or the other, and you can only play to one side or the other at a given time. But that one side or the other also applies to front and back, which is where I'm going with this. So keeping in mind that center of gravity over the center of magnitude, and the fact that we have a two-handed weapon here, I think this emphasis on sidedness is kind of there for this reason, because the Cerri does not have you distribute your weight evenly between your feet. It's forward slightly, not much, but there is a note to put it slightly forward. So you are favoring one side. In this case, it would be either my right side facing you or forward if I'm actually facing that direction. But you're always swinging and doing everything over that, which is where your balance is, your center of gravity, center of magnitude. Hope you see where I'm going with this. So after you've learned the ribbon cut in the lessons, he then teaches the volta stabile, which I forget what he calls it, but it's long and convoluted, so I just call it the volta stabile. And you're starting on your strong side there, and you're just shifting your weight back and forth, front and behind. And he says this will allow you to fight either in front or behind you, because you're always putting that weight on the forward foot. So after this, then he goes into more complicated turnings, the one being the reverse step. Now we have this in a linear fashion. I'll show you within space where you can see that you start out on the same side as your front foot, and you're just turning around and you're pivoting on either foot, making a 180-degree turn. I consider that too the kind of his tutta volta equivalent of Fiore's tutta volta in that regard. But if you notice, I'm always shifting to whatever foot. Go from here. I'm on my front foot right now, so immediately with this first one, shift into forward, and then I can take that step, turn back around. But now this is going to be my forward pivot, so I immediately step, make that second one. But there's a need to move which side that pivot point is. And then you go into the squares, so you start making those quarter turns, and the nature of his blows begin to make even more sense. So I'm starting here, Bastone on the same side as my back leg. I'm going to be moving in counterclockwise direction with my right leg. So I start out, throw the blow, forward weighted. Now I throw 2 blows. Remember, I'm throwing a ribbon blow. The first blow, I'm merely shifting my weight, but I'm, instead of moving a full 180, I'm just moving that 90 degrees. Smack. What does this look like? Wide guard. And then you come in with your second blow as you step forward, which, again, what does that kind of look like? Insular broadsword. So from here, you can keep going. Shift, 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 shift. And notice too, what does that look like as you come around here? So, you know, it's just a really cool thing. The balance, like, you feel so stable. Of course, you're not going to do it with that much drama. It's going to be a little bit more subtle as you refine it. But performing that, though, it keeps you so stable. And, you know, you are the eye of the storm in, you know, the hurricane there. So, like, yeah, it's fantastic. Experiment, try it out. Oh man, I did this to make it shorter and it went 2 minutes longer.